Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and place to be, it's Debsy. Boop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, and happy Friday. I hope everybody had a great day and a wonderful week. We are finally to the weekend, and so excited, so happy. So you did not get a video from me yesterday because when I say I felt like crap, I felt like crap. I felt tired. I wasn't like sick, but I felt just really run down and tired. So I was like, I'm going to take the night. I'm going to rest up. That Steeler game did not make it any better. However, and I'm back. So just like that, poof, I'm back. The hair is the same. I don't know what is going on here. Okay, so we're just going to do that. Okay, so what we're going to talk about tonight is this last week's episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Am I going to cover New York? I am. I just have to make notes on it. It is hard to get through this season, hard. So we're going to talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City because it's so good. So let's talk about it. So this week, the big event is Breakfast at Mary's. Mary is hosting a Breakfast at Tiffany's themed homage to the iconic Audrey Hepburn. So before we get there, we're going to go through some other things. So Lisa and Heather meet up at Kimo Sabe. If you watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you know, unlike Heather Gay, I don't know how Heather didn't know this, but we all know Kimo Sabe is where Kyle got her hat made and her hat burned, and then they drank. Yeah, so they went there. Just to let y'all know, if anybody's thinking of buying me a cowboy hat, please do not get one with any kind of penis on it. Thank you, and you're welcome. Thank you very much ahead of time. Just to put that out there. So Lisa, Lisa and Bronwyn, they tried to talk it out and mend their friendship a little bit. But here comes Lisa immediately talking shit on Bronwyn. She's like, I really missed you. I wish you were there. Bronwyn was telling people that she wanted you there. But then I found it kind of odd when she was then crying. Wait, she wanted Heather. Oh, no. Let me get into again. So Bronwyn, let's start over. So Lisa immediately was talking shit on Bronwyn, saying about how she was saying, I don't understand how she was saying that she wanted you there, but she told me that after you left her house, she was crying and she was so upset. I don't understand. But kind of insinuating that Bronwyn is lying. And then she says, and then Todd comes out and tells us that we might have to leave. And kind of was like, he was an asshole and kind of telling us to leave. Like, making it seem like if you couldn't agree with his wife, then you need to go. No, the reason why he was telling you that you might have, why he told John that you guys might have to go is because you're here on this trip. This trip is a celebration of Bronwyn and Todd's anniversary. So listen, there's some things I don't like about Todd, but if he's ponying up all this money for this trip, I mean, if I were him, I would want to have an enjoyable time too. I don't know that I would necessarily want a friend of my wife here, like, causing drama. Is all I'm saying. That's why he said that to John. Lisa saying she doesn't want to be in the middle of it. Listen, you inserted yourself right in the middle of it when you were in the hot tub, Bronwyn dipped out to go to the bathroom, and then you immediately call Heather and put her on the phone and put her out on blast everywhere. You want to be in the middle of it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have called her. and listen, this is my feeling about Heather with Bronwyn. Here comes this new girl, Bronwyn. She hates the fact, number one, that Bronwyn's on to her. She understands exactly how Heather is, what kind of game she's playing. And she doesn't like the fact, once again, she's one of those girls, one of those women who always has to sit at the cool kids table. Well, here comes Bronwyn. She's sitting with the cool kids. She's fitting in with her friends. And she don't like that because Heather obviously is in high school again. Bronwyn's living an adult life, and Heather is still in high school. Okay, so talking about Bronwyn. You go over to Bronwyn's. Bronwyn goes outside, sits with Todd. They're talking, and he voices his displeasure about how she had spoke to Lisa. He said she was screaming and you ruined the day. It wasn't very becoming of you. And what you should have done is just walk away. But you ruined the day. I'm going to tell you this. When she said in her confessional that what Todd thinks means everything, that just made me sad. That just made me so sad. I'm not gonna cry. I'm gonna try not to cry, and when she had said Todd doesn't want her to express her feelings out in public, but he also doesn't want her expressing her feelings in private. So to him, so she just has to bottle everything up. I really hope she's going for therapy because, or that she has friends outside of the show who aren't gonna take things that she says and then tell everybody and cause drama, because like she said, she's going through a lot of feelings and trying to process the fact that her friendship with Lisa is changing. And it's not the same friendship that it was. I felt so bad for her. I just felt sad. I felt like she was just she's alone. I felt horrible for her. But he's maybe he doesn't want her acting like that because of how it will look on him as a businessman. I don't know if it will reflect on his image, but it's apparent to me that this man has never seen a Real Housewives TV show. And then I wonder why did he let her go on this show then? I don't know. I'm calling it now. I don't think he's going to let her return. And that's a damn shame, because I'm going to tell you, Bronwyn is honestly, when I say my favorite, she's absolutely 100% my favorite housewife, period, right now, period. Of the rookies and the OGs and everybody. Now, I'm not saying of all of the cities, but of the ones that I watch, which is New York, New Jersey, Beverly Hills, and Salt Lake City. So literally, she's my absolute favorite, but I don't think he's gonna let her come back, and that's a damn shame, because I could go on for hours as to why I love Bronwyn. I just love Bronwyn, but that just made me so sad. whenever she was just like, she looked so beat down and she looked so like deflated. I just hated it. I just hated seeing that. But moving on to something else, Angie K, I love the fact that they showed her cooking for her father. I love her father's adorable, but talking, and I liked seeing her opening up about her mother and her past with her family. In the beginning, they showed Angie and her daughter Electra was like, I wish you weren't so much of a helicopter mom and this and that. But then when she talked about her mom, like her mom had passed, she was self-medicating in the last few years of her life. So really kind of Angie was kind of almost on her own. Like she didn't have a mother figure. And that's why she is the way that she is with her daughter. And when she took out when she saw that locket that one of her mother's friends had given to Electra, and it was to remind her of her grandmother. It was from her grandmother, and Angie didn't have any kind of like feeling at all. That was sad to see, but I like seeing that whenever I like seeing that because then it makes you understand where they're coming from. And it made me like Angie. It made me like Angie a lot more. I'm liking Angie this year. I really am. Okay, so the event, breakfast at Mary's. Okay, let's talk about the looks because Bronwyn's look was number one, hands down, the best look. She actually even looked like Audrey Hepburn. Her bangs, her clip-in bangs were perfection. She had the little ponytail. Absolutely perfect. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum with Meredith. Meredith comes, okay, the dress and the necklace, yes. But when Bronwyn said that she took the clip-in bangs and laid it on her head, it just looked like an octopus, and it was there. It was a choice. It's absolutely correct. Because I thought that thing was moving around all night. It was terrible. Lisa Barlow, totally not on theme. But, I mean, she wasn't on the Audrey Hepburn tip. But I guess maybe she was on theme, she thought, because she was wearing Tiffany blue, which Mary pointed out that it, in fact, was a bitch stole my look because Mary wore it first. Of course, in confessional, Lisa Barlow had to be like, Mary wore it, but I saw it first on the runway, and Mary probably got it from Bergdorf's. What's wrong with Bergdorf's? Listen, I don't give a shit where you buy your clothes. Okay, how about that look that Meredith gave to Angie? Angie comes in, she's like, "Here, I brought these beautiful Tiffany blue flowers. Beautiful." That look she gave to her. Yikes on bikes. Okay, then Heather coming in, all white. Listen, if it was a white party, she'd be on theme. But she didn't look, there was no breakfast at Tiffany's, no homage or nod to Audrey Hepburn at all. If she was a white party, she'd look fine. She comes in, she says, she goes down the line, hello, hello, hello. Bronwyn caught that. Bronwyn was like, oh, she was like, hello, hello, no thank you, and hello. Petty, once again. Call her Tom Petty because she is petty. So they all sit down and, Whitney looked very good and Angie looked very good and Mary looked very good. So they sit down and Angie was like, oh, this name here about Brittany. Oh, this name here. I'm surprised you invited her. Yes, I invited her because I wanted to make sure that she knew that I wasn't poor. I'm like, oh shit, Mary. We find out that Abraham Lincoln and Versace lived at the same time. Don't Google it. Don't Google it. So then after all that, Brittany does show up. Brittany shows up in God knows what. She got it looked like it was some kind of a jacket, like coat that she found in her trunk that was crinkled up, that maybe had like 8 packs of cigarette smoke blown on it. That's what it looked like. Then she took it off and she had on some white getup. Totally not on theme. So then whatchamacallit, doesn't Mary say, don't put any bread in your purse to Angie. So here comes, listen, we got to get this subtle, we got to get this not so subtle jabbing. Mary gives a toast, and then here comes, oh so subtle Heather Gay. Yes, thank you, Mary, for inviting all of us to your brunch. It feels so nice to be included. Unlike on Bronwyn's trip when we weren't. Now listen, she's getting ready to do what she thinks is roasting of Bronwyn. But listen, we know, don't we? We know. So then Brittany has to get in on it. And she felt excluded. I'm going to tell you, you weren't invited on this trip for 2 reasons. Number 1, you are dating 2 to 3 men. It was a couples trip. It wasn't let's bring 2 or 3 men. Okay? And number 2, you've been saying shit about Bronwyn and her husband. Why would she want you there? Why would she even want you there? And then she gets into it with Angie because she still hasn't forgiven her, Angie, for bringing this wine to this Mormon church gathering. She still has not forgiven her for it. But didn't Angie was like, what did she say? Angie comes back strong because she's like, I can't believe that you brought wine to my Mormon church gathering. She's like, listen, you're drinking champs right now. You're drinking champagne right now. You're doing 3 guys. When she said you're doing 3 guys, in my mind, I was like, you're banging 3 guys. You're doing 3 guys, plus you drink wine. I mean, listen, I'm not Mormon, but that don't sound like something that the Mormons would be like, girl, go ahead and do that. You do you. If you want to do 3 men, as long as one of them is an Osmond, and you want to pop some champs, and you want to drink some wine, do it. And then did Mary across the table in her confessional, didn't she let it drop that Jared, who's been sliding into her DMs, ain't Jared Joel. Jared Joel Osmond been dipping into her DMs. She ain't telling, but she's not telling Brittany that because she doesn't want any of the soap opera that would happen. So Heather then starts to go in on Bronwyn because remember she told because Lisa said something to her like Bronwyn doesn't understand how it is, and Heather's like, well, I'm thick as thieves with my friends, and you're not gonna come in with my friends. I will teach her. So this was her trying to teach her. So here comes Heather again with this prenup question. I'm going to tell you what, it's none of your damn business. None of your damn business. You can put your shoes on, lace them up real tight, lace them up good, walk on out because it's none of your business. She's like, if I ever even F a man, I'm going to get a prenup. Ain't nobody, well, you won't be signing prenups anytime soon. Nobody's clamoring to marry you. I can say that as someone who has no one clamoring to marry her and is fine with it. So, yeah. No, why? What is your fascination with the fact that she doesn't have a prenup. It's none of your damn business. You're not in a marriage. Then also, Bronwyn said that listen, I wanted you there. She actually asked her there to her house so they could work it out because she wanted to invite her there. Bronwyn said she wanted Heather to come and she planned for her to come. She even bought her a first class ticket on the return trip home. And Heather's like, how did you do that? You don't know. How did you do that? You don't know my birthday. She's like, I asked somebody. And she said, well, I want to see that because I have lied to everybody about my birthday. I'm going to tell you, Mary's face was my face. I was like, what? She has lied to everybody about what her birth date is. And then producers were like, what's your birth date? She's like, it's none of your effing business. Next. Why do you need to lie about your birthday? That shows that you're a liar. What kind of person is going to lie about the birthday? Seriously. I don't understand. That makes you a liar. And so then they're talking, they're going back and forth. Finally, it comes up to, I don't know how Lisa gets into it, but Lisa then says to Angie, you weren't okay with with not having first class. And Angie was like, I was fine with it. And then they're going back and forth. Listen, I'm with Bronwyn. Bronwyn was like, we got a private jet. I bought a gift for you. I bought a gift for your husband. I got a rental house. It was $20,000 per night. And took you to Indy. Unbelievable. And you are worried about where you're sitting for 67 minutes. And that's when Heather thought she was going to get Bronwyn when she was like, if it doesn't matter where you sit for 67 minutes, then why did you book you and your husband in first class and everyone else in coach without missing a beat? Bronwyn was like, because it was my GD credit card. And everybody at that table was gagged. The look on Heather Gay's face when she said, because it was my GD credit card. That's it. Mic drop. She should have just brought a mic, dropped it, and then walked out, flipping everybody off, what she should have done. Any questions? Because this is it. It shut everybody up real quick. But also, it is her anniversary trip. It is her trip. So, that's it. It's her trip. It's her anniversary that they're celebrating. Why would she sit all the way in the back of the plane and put Lisa Barlow up in her space, when it's not Lisa Barlow's trip? That's it. And listen, I'm gonna say, Bronwyn had said, listen, I'm not gonna get spun by Heather, and she didn't get spun by Heather, and she hasn't. And that's one main reason why Bronwyn is my favorite housewife right now, currently. She stands up to she stood up to every one of these housewives, has not backed down, has held her own. Good on you, Bronwyn, good on you. So my question is, why are you so hurt that you were left out of this trip by Bronwyn? She's made it abundantly clear she doesn't like her. So if you don't like her and you have already told her you don't want to be her friend, why is she going to invite you? Why would she invite you? It's because she's jealous. She's afraid that she's missing out on something. She's this girl that so desperately needs to sit at the cool kids table. So when she sees somebody fitting right in, it kills her. That's it. She's like, she starts her getting tearful, and these are the friends this is the family that I've made by choice, and they've stood by me, and I don't usually trust new people in the group. I mean, I get that after last year with Monica, but listen, Bronwyn has been nothing but upfront, and Bronwyn has tried to work this out with you. So listen, they eventually get to a place where they're like, we're going to start clean. We're going to start fresh. So we'll see. Then, of course, that's all done. Brittany has to stand up with the, hey, I'm not getting any love. Look at me, look at me, look at me. And she's like, what about me? I need my kumbaya moment. So she's like, she apologizes to Bronwyn for what she said about Todd. And Bronwyn's like, are you apologizing because you really mean it? Or because everybody's just telling you to say it? She's like, no, I mean it. She says, okay, thank you. Because listen, it's already been a shit show. So she says, okay. I'm going to tell you, I would have never guessed that Mary Crosby would be the voice of reason. Ever. Never. I also never would have thought that I would say, I am really enjoying Mary Crosby this season. I mean, she's engaging more with the women. She has her sarcastic, funny moments, but she has, like I said, the voice of reason. It's crazy. And lastly, Meredith. So Meredith and Angie get into it. Meredith is like, you don't want me to go into the past. No. Meredith, don't go into the past, because remember, last season in the past, you're one of the people who helped spread those false rumors about Angie's husband's sexuality, which is insane, which is crazy, because her son is part of the LGBTQIA plus community, and she is a very loud and proud ally of that community. So, and Angie brought this up, and she was also like, after that happened, you got trolled by the LGBTQIA plus community for what you did. And then all of a sudden, she just doesn't want to talk about it. Like, Meredith doesn't want to talk about it because she knows it's wrong. And Meredith wants to push this whole narrative that Sean had said just terrible things about her and her son. The fact that she's using Brooks's sexuality to deflect from her own bad behavior. She wants to keep bringing that up because she doesn't have there's like no other storyline. I mean, her only other storyline could be the problems that she's having in her marriage with Seth or her bat mitzvah. You can't carry the bat mitzvah, you can't have that be your whole thing, just your only storyline. Because I'm not watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City to see this middle-aged woman, I don't know if she's middle-aged woman, get her bat mitzvah. That don't make sense. Okay, that was my dog. That was Jack barking. He heard the TV, he heard doorbell on the TV, and he thought it was our doorbell. And it wasn't. Okay, so, yeah, like I said, she needs to find something else to be her storyline. So she's grasping for dear life onto that. So Angie and Meredith, they are screaming and yelling at each other. Mary's like standing up, trying to get them to stop. And eventually she says, he's standing right there. Jack is standing right there watching me. Right there. And she says, listen, if you guys if you can't stop yelling, then leave. And when she said that, she was looking at Meredith. So Meredith was like, I was told to leave. I am going and I am going to leave because once again, I'm playing the victim. Oh my God, everybody has to get on me about this. Which wasn't the case at all. Mary was just like, hey, if you can't stop yelling at this nice function that I'm having, can you please leave? So she gets up and she leaves. Wasn't Mary like, okay, well, she left and she took her bangs with her. Those bangs were just the worst. Honestly, if I had more time, I would try and make those bangs. I might have to try to fashion those bangs for the final video this season. For Salt Lake City. I might have to do it for the reunion. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to make the octopus bangs. So that was it. Tell me in the comments what you thought about this week's episode. I thought this week's episode was really good, obviously. Beverly Hills and Salt Lake City, killing it. Absolutely killing it. So, like I said in the comments, let me know if you watched and what you thought. If nobody told you yet today, you were loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there so it comes right back at you. Also, please take care of one another. And please always be aware of your surroundings. Hey! No! Also, please, number one, always be aware of your surroundings. Be safe. Please hydrate. Hydrate often with water, which tonight is a green tea with some lemon. Some lime and some honey. Also, if you're in a dangerous situation, please make sure that you are aware, alert, mindful, safe, secure, all those things. Whatever I say, do it. And listen, I will, and also know that Dolly and I, are always sending out our love, our thoughts, our prayers, and all the positive energy that you need. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I promise I'm going to get the Real Housewives of New York City out there. If it kills me, I'm going to do it. So I will see you guys later. Please stay warm. I don't know if it's warm where you're at. It's in the 30s where we're at. So bundle up, get something hot in ya, whether it be a hot beverage or otherwise. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.